Let's make a deal. Give me a few minutes and I'll give you 10 words that can help raise your ASVAB score. These words show up all the time, and once you know them, you'll be ahead of the game. I'm Saundra, your ASVAB prep coach here on the U.S. Military Prep channel from study.com. Let's get started. Now, after I give you the word, you're going to see a practice problem. Pause the video to try to work out the definitions on your own, and then start it back up so we can go through it together. We're kicking things off with the word diligent. Let's break this down. If this soldier is being careless or lazy, he's probably not going to pass the inspection, right? And while quick doesn't always mean sloppy, diligence is more about being thorough than just being fast. That leaves us with the B, hardworking. Other correct answers you might see are thorough, persistent, or attentive. Here's a way to remember it. Diligent sounds like do it gently. When you do something gently, you're being careful and putting in steady effort, exactly what diligence is about. Nice work. Let's keep going. Word number 2 is frugal. Let's think this through. If the unit was worried about running out, they definitely weren't being wasteful or extravagant. Generous doesn't really fit either, since giving things away isn't the same as saving them. So the best choice here is B, careful with resources. Other possible answers you might see on test day are thrifty, economical, or sparing. Here's a memory trick. Frugal sounds a bit like fruitful. If you're being frugal, your money goes farther and becomes more fruitful. So hey, you can buy more fruit. Nice job. Let's keep rolling. Word number 3 is omit. Let's break this down. If the sergeant is warning the recruits to not omit anything, that tells us something. Does telling someone to include, add, or highlight items sound like a warning? Not so much. So the best choice here is B, leave out. Other correct answers you might see could be exclude, skip, or withhold. Here's a way to remember it. When you omit something, it's like saying, oh, I missed it. See that? All right, let's keep moving. Word number 4 is elated. Now let's break this one down. If the recruit got the MOS he wanted, he wouldn't be angry, nervous, or tired. He'd be thrilled. That's a process of elimination strategy that's pretty effective for multiple choice questions. That makes the best choice B, extremely happy. Other possible answers you might see are overjoyed, ecstatic, or thrilled. Here's a memory trick. When you're elated, your mood is lifted up like you're on cloud 9. Great job. Let's keep building. Word number 5 is rational. Let's work this out. The sentence says the commander focused training on the weakest skills first. That makes sense. It's a smart way to improve the whole unit. So the decision definitely wasn't emotional, random, or careless. The best fit is B, logical. Other answers you might see are reasonable, sensible, or practical. So how do you remember what rational means? Well, it starts with ration. And in the military, a ration is logical, balanced, and carefully measured, right? Breaking down words can help you identify meanings and also give you some memory tools to pull out during the test. All right, we're halfway done. Word number 6 is reluctant. Did you figure it out? Here's how I'd explain this one. If the recruit didn't want to volunteer right away, she wasn't eager or excited. She could have been ready, and that kind of fits into this if she's a real go-getter. But we don't want to add assumptions to the questions. Just take them at face value. Difficult typically means someone isn't really looking forward to the task. So that leaves B, hesitant. Does that make sense? Other correct answers you might see are unwilling, resistant, or doubtful. Here's how I remember this one. The sounds in reluctant make you think yuck. And if something is yuck, then I'm not going to be that excited to do it and probably drag my feet. Now, you don't have to use my method, but if something else pops out at you, then use that. Wordplay can be a really effective method of remembering definitions. Okay, let's keep moving. Word number 7 is novice. A lot of sentences are going to give you context clues, just like this one does. The sentence says the recruit got better with practice. That means they weren't already an expert, leader, or teacher. So based on the context of the sentence, that leaves B, beginner. Other answers you might see on test day are rookie, newcomer, or trainee. Here's a memory trick. Novice sounds like new. If you're new at something, you're a novice. Just a few more. Let's keep going strong. Word number 8 is feasible. Did you get this one? Let's talk it out. If the plan was feasible so that the march was able to be finished, that means it would actually work, right? So it wouldn't be impossible, dangerous, or pointless. The correct answer is doable. Other correct answers you might see are possible, achievable, or practical. Here's a memory trick for this one. Pull easy right out of the middle of the word. If something's easy, you're probably going to be able to do it, right? It's totally possible. It's feasible. All right, moving on. Word number 9 is resilient. Let's think this one through. The sentence shows the recruit failed, but then came back stronger. That doesn't match weak, fragile, or careless. Process of elimination and finding context clues are great testing strategies. The best choice is C, able to bounce back. Other answers you might see for this word are tough, adaptable, or strong. Here's a memory trick. Think of a rubber band. When you stretch it, it snaps right back into shape. That's what it means to be resilient. Bouncing back after pressure. Nice work. You're knocking these out. Our last word is ample. This one's a little tricky, isn't it? All of these answer options kind of make sense, so context clues are only going to get us so far. This is where we pull out another testing strategy, looking for extreme words. The words none and unlimited stick out here because they're absolute. And it's unlikely you can train anyone to do anything with no time. Basic training is also limited in its time. It's not possible to give recruits unlimited time. So now we're faced with the 2 non-extreme words. Both fit. So you could guess, but I'm going to tell you that ample means plenty, sufficient, or more than enough. To remember that, if you see this word on the test, it's to think of an amp. Like for music, an amp makes things louder. Like ample make things bigger, not more limited. That's all the words for today. How did you do? Were these too easy? Were some tough? Let me know in the comments. And remember, the strategies we used here: context clues, process of elimination, wordplay techniques, and watching for extreme words. Flashcards really work for vocab, but don't just memorize definitions. Use them in sentences, practice them daily, and you'll be ready to spot them on test day. Hit that like button if this helped, and check out other videos on this channel to build your skills for the ASVAB. Don't forget to subscribe, and you'll get notified when a new one drops. Great job today, guys. You got this.